Hello, amigos. This is Jonathan, and you're listening to the Johnny Talks podcast. Thanks for tuning in. And today I have a special episode for you that was recorded at FinCon in Washington, D.C. earlier this year. And I'm interviewing my friend Leanna Haakons, who's a best-selling author, money expert. She's a consultant, a speaker, and has made tons of appearances on media outlets such as CNBC, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, and many others. She truly is a finance rock star. And with Leanna, we will discuss how the wealthy or high net worth individuals are switching their investments from traditional finance to cryptocurrency-based assets. And now I know I can hear you already. Cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin might not be your cup of tea and not something you're interested in investing in. I get that. That's why I also took the opportunity to talk to Leanna about how the wealthy, since she's been working with them, how the wealthy actually invest themselves and how they think about investing. Are they thinking very differently than us, the normal people, or do they really know something that we don't know? Well, we will discuss that in this episode, and I think it will be eye-opening and interesting to see how different or how actually similar we are. So, without further ado, let's hear it. Hello everyone, this is Jonathan. We are here again live at FinCon in Washington, D.C., and today I'm having Leanna Haakons with me. And maybe you can introduce yourself quickly.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leanna Haakons. I am the founder of Blackhawk Financial and also the author of a best-selling book called Young, Fun, and Financially Free. So I've been in finance for over 12 years in investor relations, marketing, a little bit of PR, and lots of business development for alternative investments like hedge funds, private equity, venture capitalism, fintech, and also for big public companies as well, like FTSE 100s, Fortune 500s. And that's sort of my professional background. And then about a year and a half ago, my book came out called Young, Fun, and Financially Free. It is sort of a money 101, everything from spending, saving, to investing and debt, credit, everything that you kind of need to learn, like the basics of money. And then that brought me into the FinCon world, which is all about financial media and bloggers, YouTubers, podcasting. And so I've done over 100 media spots about the book and CNBC, Bloomberg, all that kind of, TV stuff as well. And yeah, I mean, we met through talking about investing here at FinCon. So we just wanted to talk to you guys and have a little conversation about that.
Yeah, we wanted to share the insights with you because Leanna actually hosted a cryptocurrency meetup, which is probably the first one in FinCon's history, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think so. And yeah, I was really surprised that not many people were talking about investing in crypto.
Actually, I even sent a message to the group. Hey, who is talking about cryptocurrency or blockchain, or is there anybody who can I talk to? I wanted to connect and exchange. As you know, if you've been following me, I've been talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency already 2 years ago, even before the big bull run. I'm interested. I still follow. I've been following a bit less lately, but I still kind of interested in following the space. And that's why I wanted to look for as well people here at FinCon in Washington, D.C. to just talk and meet up. And actually, Leanna organized it. So maybe we can we can share a bit some insights of the meetup that we had.
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting a huge crowd because FinCon is pretty traditional. Personal finance, bloggers and authors, people talking about the basics of finance and the very basics of investing, like index funds. I mean, people here don't even really go into stock picking or investing in individual companies. Yeah. So that's fine because there's a lot of people in the world that really need to get the basic understanding of money and the basic understanding of how to just have good habits to start saving so you can invest. But with so many thematic ETFs and things that people are investing in under active management in funds that are based on crypto or blockchain services and technology, I thought there would be a lot more people, particularly young people in our space, interested in talking about crypto and crypto investing and how to go about doing that. So in the group, we were talking about, do you invest directly in Bitcoin and in coins, and currencies in crypto, or is there a way to invest in services companies that are based on blockchain technology and that are servicing a lot of the new crypto funds that are popping up? So I started the group and was talking about how in the institutional and high net worth, ultra high net worth, wealth management and retail investing market, there are a lot of people and managers even that are switching from traditional finance and like US dollar currency investments and funds into the crypto space.
So it's, when you say institution, just for the viewers, because maybe they're not familiar with that, what is an institution? Or you don't need to name the brands or the names, but what kind of association, what kind of structure makes an institution? Is that a big bank, the headquarters of a bank, or what is that? Is it?
So people can be managing institutional money, like pension fund money, and money that comes from organizations, rather than you, Jonathan, coming to me and saying, Leanna, you are a financial advisor or an investment broker, which I'm not. I don't manage assets myself. But you as an individual coming to me or any other advisor and saying, could you get me some investments in crypto, or could you manage my money for me? That's retail money management, personal investing. And when a company does that, so say a company has a big pension fund with all their employees' money in it, they would go to someone like me, or again, another advisor, or broker, or a fiduciary, and say, hey, I need you personally, or I need your group, your bank, to invest my money for me so I can make money for my clients and for our employees and build our fund. So there's lots of different kinds of institutional money and funds that they also need help managing it, and they want it to grow. And it's something that I've seen much more significant, that those type of institutional money are starting to invest and have faith in crypto, blockchain, and that usually has a follow through and sort of a downward push into the retail market eventually of adopting something, whether it be cryptocurrency or cannabis investing, or kind of new themes that come up.
And Leanna, a question I have is, okay, so you're seeing this trend, this shift, or this higher interest from your clients to cryptocurrency, etc. When did that start to happen? Is that 2 years ago when Bitcoin flew to 20,000, or just a bit after, or when did that start to come up? This demand?
Yeah, so I would say about a year and a half ago, I started to see quite a few administration firms, so like the service providers that are traditionally serving regular retail and institutional management of funds and all the US dollar based investments. And they started to service people that were popping up with new crypto funds, whether they're hedge funds or things that are just things that are based on different cryptocurrencies or based on blockchain, Bitcoin. Yes, that was about a year and a half ago that I started to see a lot of people going from traditional money management into starting funds and services based on crypto.
Okay, the viewers know I have a small position in crypto. I'm interested in it, but it's very volatile, so it's very risky as a retail investor. But how do they go about then? Okay, let's say they want to invest Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, it doesn't matter. How do you go about it? Do you buy then straight the currency on an exchange such as Coinbase or Binance, or how does that work in practice?
Yeah, there's a bunch of those different, like you mentioned, Binance and Coinbase, like these different exchanges where an individual retail investor can go and buy into and invest or buy these coins. And you can see, I can't give an explanation as to how people can evaluate the value of one Bitcoin versus a Litecoin or Ethereum or something else. But yeah, there's that mode of directly investing in different cryptocurrencies, Or I like to think about people investing in the technology and the blockchain and companies that are providing services around that. So that's, again, something that we wanted to discuss at this group, because all of us are kind of wondering, well, if you don't want to just buy, 1/10 of a Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or whatever, how else can you invest in the value of the technology of blockchain? Because that's what everybody talks about, is how blockchain has this indestructible ability for security and the technology side of that for other services and other companies based around it. So there was one interesting member of our group who
Ryan, I think.
Yeah, I spoke further to him yesterday, and he's the founder of a new platform called Crowdwise. So Crowdwise hosts like crowdfunding equity opportunities for smaller, earlier stage startup companies or those just kind of getting on the path to bigger fundraisers through institutions and investment banks. So this website called Crowdwise is relatively new, but Brian has a long history
I'll
in
link
crypto.
it in the comments or in the notes here there,
Yeah, and so that's just that's another way to look at some of these startups that have popped up in the last couple of years that are based on blockchain technology. And so that's kind of one opportunity where people can look at smaller companies based on blockchain through a crowdfunding website like Crowdwise.
And just to go back to the institutional, because if a manager invests for them, how does the manager, the wealth manager, buy straight on the exchange, or how does it work then?
I personally have met with, again, relatively new in the last couple of years, kind of like institutional marketplaces and exchange for institutional investing of crypto. And people are either directly buying into the currencies,
the wealth manager buy it straight.
Or they'll do the same thing, and like that one, for example, they just do Ethereum and Bitcoin. But they also have their own coin that they debase currencies with, that they've created to make it easier.
For a conversion or whatever.
Exactly.
Very clear.
So there's that, but then they also are all looking to invest in the technology in other ways, not just in the coins, because I think most people know, or it's very likely that directly investing in crypto coins is going to potentially be a more volatile market.
Yeah, it is already still volatile, but I see where you're going. And just thank you for this. And just as a general note, or more broad question, do you have like 3 or 4 questions that your besides crypto that your clients come with to you? Like, how does high net worth individual think? What is his question? How does he wants his money managed? What are his questions?
Well, honestly, I would say that people might think that there's a big difference between investing when you're an accredited investor or ultra high net worth client versus just a regular individual person investing, who doesn't have $1 billion family office fund or something like that. But a lot of them have the same questions, because most people, as anybody else, because most people, just because you have money doesn't mean you did it by being a broker, like working in the financial world.
Exactly, it's an active trader.
You're not necessarily active in the financial markets, so you need to learn the basics like everybody else does. And I think that's the thing that's the most intimidating about investing in finance. Most people think like me, we were born this way, or born with money, or someone gave it to us, and it's because we have this extensive, amazing financial knowledge. And you don't. Like, we all learned in our own way by watching videos like this, following someone like you who's giving education, reading a book like mine, Young, Fun, and Financially Free.
Bloggers, YouTubers.
And just slowly learning a little bit at a time. So they really ask a lot of the same questions, like, how is this fund structured? Like, is this going to follow an index? So am I going to make the same kind of returns as an index fund? Or is it going to serve value to me to pay a certain percentage to have active management of an actively managed fund? Is that worth it based on the historical performance? So
it's the same question I have.
And sometimes the accredited investors or ultra high net worth people, they want access to products that are more elite, like hedge funds, where they have to pay more money for the management fee. They're paying a 2 and 20 for management and performance. And because they want they want to get private access to something that they think may hopefully provide higher returns than what regular retail investors are getting. So
Okay. And do they venture more easily into more exotic investments? Okay, there's interest in crypto, but for example, art or wine or I don't know, or are they more open to that since they have much more to choose from?
I think most of them, yeah, because again, once you're at that accredited investor level, you have opportunity to get into private placements and startups and things that retail investors, if you're not accredited, they don't consider you a sophisticated investor.
Okay.
Even though that really doesn't mean anything, because you could have less money and know more about investing than someone with money does.
So just for the viewers, an accredited investor, is that someone that has a certain level of income or an assets worth $1 million or more? Or?
Yeah, and it's with your combined household, so between you and your spouse.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Then I'll just have a last question. Do you invest in crypto, Leanna?
I personally do not own any coins or anything myself. And I'm fairly recently getting into a few different startups and ideas of things that I would like to put some serious money behind. But I have yet to actually go into the direct coin market because I've been more focused on, again, like I think what a lot of people are focused on, companies that are going to prosper from the blockchain technology being further adopted by institutional investors, which usually the retail market and retail investors will follow once institutions have more faith in blockchain companies and the blockchain, and then accredited investors, and then it'll be more mainstream. And I would like to benefit from companies being built out of this technology.
So you still have a traditional
rather than the coins themselves, which I'm not against it, buying coins.
But you have the traditional mindset, which is good.
Yeah.
I have it too, of seeing what it's worth, like to have a company produce something, and then it's easier to value. It's true. I mean, it's
and I've also I've seen a lot of the extreme volatility in the coin markets, and I'm just, I don't know enough about the space yet. I'm not comfortable with it enough yet, and its stability to put any big bucks behind it.
Because what I've been doing to get educated is I didn't find any real good information. It's a lot of scams. It's a lot of scams in the space. There's a lot of people.
Sponsored content
in there just to make a quick buck. So it's hard to find the real good information. So I've already talked before in my blog post. I follow basically two guys. There's more good guys, but I follow Ivan on Tech, so I will link it as well. He's a genuine guy, and his channel has grown exponentially. He's still in it, and I follow his course as well. I'll link it as well in the show notes, and Data Dash as well. Nicholas Merton, he's been on it for like 2 years and a half, and he has a genuine approach. He's been touring the world, speaking at events, and I generally like his advice because he offers technical analysis. But I worked 1 year in technical analysis, so I can relate to what he speaks with, and it makes sense. The predictions are not always right, but at least there's two guys to at least get started with educating yourselves. So I go to their websites or YouTube channels, and then I base my knowledge on that, and I think it's a good way to start, at least if you're interested into knowing more about the technicals and on the blockchain technology. So Leanna, thank you for coming, and thank you for being on the video. And if people want to know more about your book, or I don't know, you're on Twitter as well, or social media?
Yeah, I'd
How
say
can I find you?
Instagram and LinkedIn are sort of my big things. Instagram is Leanna, Leanna _Hawk, HAWK. And I'm sort of all over the media and stuff, talking about different investment topics. And I'm sure you'll link all my information below. So
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, Leanna.
I hope that you enjoyed this interview and that you learned something from it. This was more type of conversation, information type of episode rather than a story plus actionable tips that you can apply in your daily life type of episode. So let me know if that's something you want more of or less of, and then adapt the episode format consequently. And before we head off, I've written down a few takeaways from this interview. So the first one was that, so the main one is that there is a rising interest in cryptocurrency-based assets from institutions and high net worth individuals. And the next one was kind of a surprise, but not entirely. So it's that, high net worth individuals, they're not that different from you and me in the end when it comes to money management. We share the same worries, and actually they're not necessarily more active or more educated in the financial markets than us. That was an interesting point that Leanna raised. The thing is, with wealthy individuals, they have access to more elite, more different options than us retail investors. And if you want to know more about Leanna, her book, how to connect with her on social media, I linked everything down in show notes, and along with the information on the cryptocurrency channels, Data Dash and Ivan on Tech. I also linked to the course of Ivan on Tech, which I highly recommend. And with that said, I want to thank you again so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions or remarks, please do not hesitate to contact me, john@johnnytalks.com, or you can find me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @JohnnyTalks. Make sure you subscribe in Apple Podcasts to be kept updated on the next episodes. So friends, thank you again so much for your support, and I'll speak to you next time.